morning.
Good morning. It's Sunday.
It is, and another day of technical difficulties, so we've gotten
I'm
it together.
yes. How has your morning been?
It was okay. Honestly, it was really nice. The weather here is like super overcast, so I was able to get a little bit of yard work done
Oh,
without the
nice.
sun beating down on me.
Yeah.
And the problem is now, though, we're starting to get bugs.
Ugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not my favorite part.
It's hard to like sit on the porch and relax in the morning when there's like a gnat trying to crawl into your eye.
Yeah. My dry eyes would attract all of
Oh,
them, and they would just get stuck in there like a sticky trap.
have you ever had a gnat like fly into your eye and like sting you or like bite? I don't
Yes.
know what they do. I don't know if they're biting you or stinging you, but it hurts so bad.
No, I just feel like anything being on my eye is just stings and doesn't feel good, and then I can't get it out, and it's like it's a whole thing.
Sounds
So
terrible.
I know, I know. Um, I slept in a little bit this morning. That was nice. Had a busy weekend. Getting to hang out with friends. Normally, we're either doing soccer or chores. So this weekend is nice. We got to do game night with you and your partner, and then on Saturday, yesterday, we got to go out with some local friends. So that was fun. So today's just kind of a relaxed day and our podcast day. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, game night was actually really fun.
It
Uh,
was. It
it's
was.
fun. It's fun and challenging trying to do a game night like remote, like long distance, right? It kind
Mhm.
of reminded me of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
like social distancing um game night. But we did this really fun game where you had to like draw. What is the name of that
Oh
app
gosh,
or
I
whatever?
don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
My son told me about it because him and his friends like to play it, and I was like, the teens for sure know how to do the online gaming thing
Yeah.
because that's primarily what they do.
It
Uh,
didn't disappoint though. So it was like somebody had to write a sentence and then another person would just get the sentence and have to draw it. Then it would go to
yeah,
the next person who just had the drawing and they would have to write a sentence about the drawing. It was like a telephone game that
yeah, I
went
was gonna say
between drawing and words. And so it
like
was really
telephone.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look up on my phone to see if I could. Oh, it's called Gartic Phone. GARTIC phone. And there's a whole bunch of games on there. Like there was the telephone game that we were talking about, which is really funny. And then the other one we did was a drawing game
Oh
where
yeah, the body part,
the
like
body parts. Yeah.
sections of the body.
Yeah. So each of us had to draw the head on our phones, and then the torso, and then the legs, and then the platform put them all together into a single picture, which actually was really surprising how well those
A
parts
lot of them
came
meshed
together.
up. Yeah. I feel like the AI was like, this is the torso that needs to go with these legs.
Yeah.
So it
I
was
want
really
to.
fun. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I drew an alien head and it like merged it up with octopus tentacles for the legs, and I thought it
Oh
was very
yeah.
fitting. Like I just thought it was really fun.
Who drew the octopus tentacles? Was it John? I don't
I
remember who
don't
drew
know.
those. I don't know. It was really funny. But the funny thing was, Graham was like, "I'm not good at drawing," and then
He did like the
all of
best
his pictures
drawings.
were like masterpieces. Like at
Yeah.
one point, I wish I would have had a screenshot and we could like post it on our page. Like at one point, he literally drew Sia's "I want to swing from the chandelier," and it was like a
It was
masterpiece.
perfect.
I saw the
Really was.
picture. I immediately knew what it was. I was like, "Oh, this is Sia. Like, I know what it is." So that was really fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, games and game nights are actually a really great way to get to know people, right?
A
Uh,
100%.
there's so much fun psychology in games. It's actually one of the ways that we recommend people practice their social skills and cooperative skills and taking turn skills. So, like, playing games with kids is super important to help them build those skills in a fun way, like an easy, simple way. And on that note, you can tell the people who didn't play games as kids or who weren't able to play a lot of games with other kids because they are not cooperative, right? they they maybe get upset really easily, or they want to argue about the rules, or and then you start to see some personality styles emerge, and then you're just kind of like, yeah, you can see the people who are fun and creative and impulsive and silly, and the people who are more, I
Do
want
you
to follow
really
the
know?
rules.
Like, it is a discovery mission. Playing
It
games
is.
with your friends, literally, you get to know them better. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't like board games. Okay, don't play a
Yeah.
board game. Just find something, trivia, whatever.
Yeah.
But you get to know so much about your relationships and the personalities, and you find little weird personality traits. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just give this example, right? So I had probably, I don't know, 12 years ago, I
Hmm.
invited you and John over for game night with another set of my friends. Okay.
Hmm.
And I was like, they're super fun. John and April are super fun. Like, it's going to
Yeah.
be a great night.
Yeah.
How many minutes into this game night did everything go awry? It was like we had we were playing Pictionary. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we play games to have fun. Okay.
Correct.
So we're like a house rules kind of game night. And
Yeah.
we had a rule
Rules,
follower.
rules. We had a
Like,
rules
the
kind of game.
rules are the rules, and you're not playing by the rules. And so April and my other friend, literally, I thought I was gonna have to kick somebody out. I was like, this is gotten so out. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, okay, let's play a different game. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know what to
it's
do
funny.
now. I was like so uncomfortable.
The funny thing was, like, at that point in time, you were definitely more, you were in your, like, people pleasing era, right? So you were more like, oh my God, like, there's no way I can make both of my friends happy here. Like, both of them are gonna
Yeah,
be
I
unhappy.
almost had to just run away because I was not
Just
equipped
leave
to
the
handle
house.
the situation. I was literally just like, what? 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 I don't know what to do. And it
So
was like nobody like yelled, but there were like curse words exchanged, and I was like, wow, okay.
I
I've made
think
a terrible mistake, and I'm not going to be friends with either of these people now. Like, my friends are fighting, therefore they hate me. That's kind of where I
it's
was
your
at.
fault.
You put us into this situation.
That's actually really hard though. Like, I think about that a lot in terms of, because my kids are teens, and they have different groups of friends from different places, some from sports, some from school, some from, whatever other activities they're doing. And it's like kind of interesting to see how they navigate their friendships. It feels definitely like the rules around how to navigate friendships are a little bit different than when we were growing up. Um and so sometimes I think about, like, oh, are you going to, like, you're gonna invite everybody from all these groups to this thing? Like, are all these people gonna get along? It's almost like they don't even consider the fact that this group from my sports team might not get along with this group from this art club or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
and they just, like, wanna invite everybody, um, but that doesn't always work out, right?
I think
Because
some of that has to do with the way that they're parented, though. Like, you
yeah,
and John are obviously like super open thinkers, you're very
right.
inclusive. And so
Yeah,
your kids don't realize that that there's going to be that kind of judgment or maybe a
yeah.
clash and whatever, because they're also very open minded. So,
Yeah, they really don't. I mean, sometimes I worry about that, because we are a very open family, very progressive family. There's really no unsafe thing that they can talk about, or, anything like that. If they're thinking about it, we want to talk about it. What are you thinking? How can we help you? Whatever it might be. There's no judgment. There's no anything like that. And we're like that with our friends and the people who are in our lives. And so the other adults who are in their lives are also very open. So they're
Yeah.
literally around people who are also open and loving and kind and don't really have a lot of like, I guess, boxes that they place themselves into, right? Like, I'm only a Christian and I can only do these things, or I'm only this and I can only do these things, right? Um, so they have gotten themselves in some situations where they'll say something thinking that it's like it's not anything that's crazy to them. It's like a normal
Yeah.
thing. And then they'll get like an extreme response from like one of their friends, like, that's really offensive. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, how is that like, I don't understand how that's
It's
offensive. Why?
offensive because it's against their family's
Because it's against
beliefs.
their, yes,
We're
yes.
not taught to have.
Yeah. And like, you
Mm.
know, a lot of times, like, you know, this has come up. We live in Texas. It's a very conservative state, right? And so there's still a lot of homophobia in the schools and in the society in general. And I know like one of these comments came up one time where one of the kids said something to one of my kids that was like, that don't talk about gay people or whatever, that's against my religion, or like that's offensive to me or whatever. And, and so my kids are like, one of my kids was like, what do you mean it's offensive? I'm literally a Christian and like I believe that God loves everybody, so I am really confused about why this is offensive to you, you know. And the person was just like, I just, it's just against my religion,
They
you know.
don't know. The thing is, they don't know why it's offensive. They're literally
Yeah,
just repeating the things that their
what
parents
they're
have told them,
hearing.
and they're
Yeah.
probably not encouraged to question their adults.
Yeah. Oh, no, never.
And so then you're just, yeah, you're just in that one way of thinking because you're not allowed to be an open thinker. You're not allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to
Yeah.
question authority. Like, why is that the rule? Like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Then we're just like, it is what it is. Like, to quit
It's
asking me
just what I was
questions, you
told.
know?
Yeah, it's just what I was told. That's just what I'm gonna believe. Whereas, you know, so sometimes that can be hard for my kids because they kind of are going in blind, right? Like they don't know all those frameworks and rules necessarily, and that's really is by design. We don't want them placing people in boxes. We want them to get to know people and make their decisions based on the person's character, not on their group. But that's hard when you're a teen, when you're a young adult, when you live in a culture that's very different from your family. So that's been really interesting to navigate for us here, just kind of creating relationships. But games, obviously, game nights are really helpful to be able to understand their friends and how they're going to get along.
Oh
And
no,
what?
my screen is frozen. If you can hear me,
I can hear
dang
you. Yours
every
isn't.
time.
You're not frozen on my end. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay,
So,
sorry.
yeah, it's okay. We're back.
I think the
I don't know where I left.
overcast morning I was talking about is affecting that satellite internet that I have.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know where I left off, but you know, I was just saying, like, so it's interesting to watch the kids navigate their friendships and how they play games and who they invite and how they get along and you know all of that kind of stuff. But I think games are a good way to do that. I learned that I'm probably not going to be hanging out with that other friend of yours, you know,
Yeah,
very
well,
often. So,
there was so I was really stressed out about that for a long time because it's hard when you
yeah,
have two different friend groups and they don't get along, right? Because then you're like,
yeah,
I'm
right,
the middle person, and thankfully no one
yeah,
was like they weren't talking crap about you and vice versa, so
right,
that made it a
yeah,
little bit easier. But you guys came together a little bit later. Some Google
yeah,
Glasses, I think,
yeah,
brought
yeah.
was the olive branch.
I think that we were both. I think part of it is that like I think we're both pretty nerdy and we're both pretty kind of confident in our
You're
way
both
of thinking.
alphas.
We're both very much, yeah. So there's a little bit of just personality tension there. I think once we were able to kind of get through that and realize it wasn't that serious, like Pictionary isn't that serious. We're here to have fun.
I don't know who you're playing with. It's literally to the death.
I do have a hard time though. I think probably a little bit of it is the oppositional, you know, traits that I have where I'm like, if this thing that actually doesn't really matter is making you so upset, now I am probably gonna wanna push that button
Yeah.
because
I don't want
it
to have
doesn't
to take
matter.
sides here, but I also just want to add you're one of the most competitive people I
Yes.
know. Like I think we had a fight hiking one time because you were like
100%.
I don't remember. You just keep repeating it to me that I said it and I 100% agree that's a sentence I would have said to you, which was like
Yeah,
something along the lines of everything doesn't have to be a competition. Do you actually remember that?
I do
Yeah,
remember.
tell it
Yeah,
to me. Tell it to me.
yeah, we were hiking Carr, I
Oh,
think.
gross. Okay.
Yeah, we weren't going all the way, like, I think we were just out on a hike. We just had a couple hours. And it was us with the I think we were with a group. Um, I just remember you and I know John was there, and I don't know if it was the speed we were trying to go or what it was, but I was apparently being pushy on that trail.
That's the thing.
Um,
You're the slowest hiker I've ever met. Like, I don't even know how this
apparently
happened. What did you say to
appa
me?
apparently on that day, maybe you were about to start your period. Maybe it was actually
Maybe
you.
that's what I'm gonna say. I'll take the blame. I will take the blame. Clearly, I was overly sensitive to something that was happening, and I yelled
Eh,
at you.
it probably was, okay? Because you're definitely the faster hiker. You're
Yeah,
gonna yeah, like, I
that's
am
why. Like,
definitely not.
so I'm like, I need you to remind me how this actually happened because
Yeah. I wanna say it had something to do with, like, maybe stopping and getting a snack. Maybe I wanted a snack. This sounds like, maybe I was like, "Can we get a snack or something?" Or you were wanting a snack. I don't know. I feel like it had something to do with snacks, and I was probably complaining about us stopping to get a snack or I don't know. I was complaining about something, and then you were annoyed with me, and then you were like, "Listen, not everything is a competition." And I was like, "Yeah, it
yes,
is.
it is.
It is."
Okay, yeah.
I don't know,
I
like
hope I relive that in my dream so I can get the details back. Because
I
like, what's
know.
funny is you remember that one, and then I remember that
Yeah,
the other kind of big fight that we actually had, and you didn't
yeah.
remember it at all. So I was
I
like, it's
didn't
really
remember that one at
funny
all,
how
yeah.
we hold memories that are like super important to us that everyone else is like, it was not even a big deal.
I don't even remember that, yeah. That
Yeah,
actually happens in therapy a lot too, like, as a therapist, the stuff that you think is the most impactful for your patient, your client, is, like, never the thing that sticks with them. Like, they'll come in and they'll be like, "Oh, I was thinking about this thing," and it'll be some, like, the most benign, like, interaction, comment that you had with them, but it's, like, the thing that's most impactful, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I okay. I didn't realize that was."
I love how our brains work though.
Yeah, 'cause you really can't predict as well as we like to think we can, how the other person is receiving the information that you're putting out there,
Yeah.
or what's gonna be impactful for them. Because like you said, like, that exchange that we had was super impactful for you, and
You
I didn't even
ghosted me for
remember.
like 3
Yeah.
months.
I mean, I was for
That's
sure
I think
annoyed.
that was the
I was for
impact of
sure
this.
like, I remember being mad
You
and
remember being
annoyed.
mad? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
But you didn't
remember.
remember what actually started the
Yeah,
fight.
I don't
Yeah.
remember why I was mad. I didn't maybe I just dissociated. Maybe it was
Probably,
just
I mean, 100% that tracks.
right.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. So, I was actually reading recently something, um, I don't know, but it made me think about the fact that your memory is actually significantly tied to your emotional experience. So, the part of your brain that is responsible for memory is really close to the part of your brain that trigger your amygdala that triggers like adrenaline and like fight or flight and stuff. So, um, when you have a strong emotional reaction, it like imprints these memories into your mind unless you're dissociated. Because if you're dissociated, you're not letting yourself have that
Well, yeah,
emotional reaction.
you're not feeling your feelings.
Yeah, right, correct. So if you never allow yourself to have like a true emotional chemical response in your body, you actually don't create memories. Like you can end up, later in your life and be like, I don't remember any of my childhood, or I don't remember any of my life because I didn't really let myself have an emotional experience, ever. Um so that's definitely something that I've been thinking about lately, is just the value of feeling your emotions isn't just so we can like integrate our experiences, but also so we have memory of a life. We have memory that we lived, um, because there's so many people who don't, and that just kind of made me really sad
That is
for a little
sad.
while.
I
Yeah.
do know some people that
Mhm.
say they don't remember any, like they don't have any memories from their childhood. But as I've gotten to know them, I also realize they are the people that are not
Yeah.
feeling their emotions. Like they just won't, that's not that kind of life for them. One of them actually said they had been with their partner for like over 20 years, and
Mhm.
we were having a conversation one time just about like how we felt about something, or emotions, right? It was something like that, like how something
Yeah.
made us feel or how we feel connected. And he was like, I can't have these kind of conversations with my partner. And I was just like, wow,
Mhm.
like that is my number one criteria, is to be able to connect with my partner on like an emotional level. And so
Mhm.
to hear that there's people that have been in 20-year relationships that don't have that like
Yeah.
deep emotional, it's like a physical, is based all on like
Yeah.
physical, right? We have great sex, but we don't talk about anything. We have common interests, and those hold us together, but there's no like emotional depth in that. And
Yeah.
it just made me really sad. I was like, oh my gosh. And then grateful for,
Yeah.
the relationships that I have cultivated in my life, that I've based not just off of, common interest or
Mhm.
proximity, but off of like close
Depth.
connection and depth.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Well, and I think there's a good, like, when you talk about your life and the stories and the experiences that you've had, like, you have so many vivid memories of like, you'll just come up with something, like, I mean, even on this podcast, right, people have got to hear some stories about, like, your work trip, and that guy who knew everything, and or chicken tornadoes, or like, just these random, like, obscure things, and I'm like, these are things I would like never remember. Like, I feel like I am really bad about remembering anything. Like, you ask me, to be fair, high school was traumatic for me, okay? So I really just try not to think about it. But if you were to show me somebody I went to high school with and be like, "Yeah, don't you remember this person? Like, you went to high school with them." I'm gonna be like, "I have no idea who that is." Like, there's a handful of people I remember from high school, but for the most part, I've just literally just erased it from my brain. Whereas you, I feel like you really do feel everything, so you have this rich category of vivid memories. I don't know which
It's a
one is better.
blessing and a curse, let me just tell you. Like, but like I look through my yearbook and there's a lot of people that I don't remember, right? But it's because I did
Yeah.
not have any kind of experiences with them. There are some that I look back and you're like, oh, we went through something, or we had a, terrible teacher together, something like that, where you were
Yeah.
close to them, you've experienced something with them. Like I obviously remember, people I played sports with.
Yeah.
um I may not remember their names, but I just saw this girl that was on my softball team in high school in Safeway the other day, and I was like, I
You'll
cannot
have to.
remember this chick's name, but I know her.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, I can't just like talk. Like, it would be so weird. Hi, I haven't seen you in 25 years, and I don't
Right.
remember your name, but we played softball together freshman year.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. And it's even more weird if they remember your name, because
oh
then
my
that, like,
God.
makes
No,
me feel
that
so
happened to me.
bad.
Do you remember what I was telling you about my friend at the gym? I was at
Oh,
the
yeah.
gym, and there was this woman that was like, I was like, man, that lady looks familiar. And she kept like we, every time I would look over, like she was looking at me, and then we'd be like, oh, and then break eye contact.
Yeah.
And so for like 3 days in a row, like from far across the gym, I'm like, God, how do I know this person?
Oh, yeah.
And so I was in the dressing room, right, getting
Mhm.
ready, and I came out and she was sitting on a bench tying her shoe, and she's like, "Is your name Misty?" And as soon as I heard her voice, I was like, "Crystal! Oh my
Yeah,
God!" Like
oh,
everything
funny.
kind of like pieced together.
Yeah, it woke
Again,
up that
though,
memory. Yeah.
we went to high school together. Her
Mhm.
parents and my grandparents kind of knew each other. Like we lived in the same town. We were not in the same friend group, but
Yeah.
we played softball together. And I remember just like being in awe of her. She was the
Mhm.
coolest girl. She was
Mhm.
always in such a great mood.
Yeah.
Never had anything negative to say. And I remember
Mhm.
her just singing all the time. Like we would take, when we had away games, my favorite memory, as a matter of fact, every time I hear the song, I wear my sunglasses at night.
Uh-huh.
I think of that chick, right? I'm
We're
like,
gonna have to play a little clip of that.
yeah, I'll have to find it.
You gotta
Um,
producer.
there you go. But every time I hear that song, it would remind me of Crystal in the back of the bus, just like with her
Yeah.
sunglasses on, like fake
Joyful.
microphone, just like so cool. And I was like,
Love that.
I like
She
to
was
be around. She was
free.
a person that really just
Yeah.
like inspired you to be your fun, genuine self. Quirky.
Yeah.
She owned it. She had so much confidence. And so it was really great to like reconnect with her as adults. And we actually went to the gym together for a while until
Oh,
schedules
I love
matched
that.
up. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was really fun.
That's cool. So that's like a really happy story, right? I think
Yeah.
the opposite when the opposite happens, when it's like you have people that you went to high school with and they were terrible in high school, right? And they behaved
Mm-hmm.
poorly. The difficult part is like it's hard to remind yourself that this person is an adult now, that they've had so many years between high school, but the feeling of who they were is still in your
Oh,
body, right? You're
I have a
still like,
legit example of that.
"Ah," and you just don't want to be around them because you're just, I don't care if you've changed. In my body, you are the same bully that you were in 10th grade or, whatever it might be.
Yeah. So in 2017,
Yeah.
one of my cousins was getting married,
Mm-hmm.
and her soon to be husband, his sister, was my middle school bully. Okay.
Oh,
So I did
no.
not like none of this. Okay. So she's like saying, "Oh, this guy, this guy."
Yeah.
And then we're like getting together for like the bridal, like the week of the wedding, correct? She didn't live in
Mm-hmm.
town. So she traveled from out of town.
Okay.
Um, the high school or the middle school bully does live in the same town as me. I have not seen
Okay.
her. Like I don't run into people because I'm like not a social person. I don't really go
Right.
out. But
Yeah.
so we go to the local Mexican restaurant here
Yeah.
and we're sitting down at this table and in walks my junior high, like middle school and junior high bully, like threatened to
Oh,
stab me, came to my church when I was in youth group. I was probably fifth or sixth grade because my best friend,
my
it was
God.
like had been dating her and then they broke up. Like, so
Yeah.
she was like, I'm going to beat your ass. In the alley behind my church, like this girl threatened to beat me up. I was so afraid of her.
Not in front of our Lord.
It
In
right
the
behind,
alleyway?
right behind our Lord in the alley, threatened to beat my ass. And I was like
Oh
12 and I
my
had never heard another child curse at me like that before. And I was just
God.
I gotta get out of here.
Is this
So
you? Is this the devil?
I was like, I gotta go pray immediately. It's like something, no. But she like tried to stab me. She was like pulled my hair.
That's
Like
a
she was legit
very
just a bully.
violent,
Okay.
violent
So
threat though.
and then like high school happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She did her thing. Everyone makes poor choices without their prefrontal cortex fully developed. And
Yeah,
so,
right.
she had her life. And so she walks into this restaurant and I'm like, oh God. Like, I felt
Yeah,
like I was 12 years old again. It was
right.
the
Because
weirdest, like, yeah,
your body remembers. It's its
it was like,
job to
don't let
remember.
her sit next to me. That's the only open
Yeah.
seat. Okay. So this woman now comes and sits down next to me and she's
Oh
like,
boy.
hi. I was like, hi. She's like,
Please don't stab me.
most uncomfortable. Anyway, it was totally fine. We actually kind of like,
Yeah.
there was no conversation about our childhood. I think there was just an
Yeah.
understanding immediately that that's not who we are anymore.
Right.
She was very nice. We actually went out for drinks after the wedding, like, because we had to hang
Oh,
out during
nice.
that week. And then
Yeah.
after the wedding, we actually went out to like Chili's or something and like had a drink to
Right.
kind of catch up and see what was going on. But it
Oh,
was
that's
just
cool.
really
Yeah.
awkward for a good
Super
30
awkward.
minutes as I was like,
Ugh.
just sitting in the restaurant, we haven't eaten yet, and I'm already dripping sweat. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's the
Your
salsa.
nervous
It's just so spicy.
your nervous system's just trying.
It's
Yeah.
like, why are you
Yeah. So
soaked?
so when I was in high school, this is gonna sound like, not to I don't want it to go like real dark,
You were the
okay?
bully? No, I'm just kidding.
I was the bully. No, just kidding.
Just kidding, guys. It was April. She was my middle school bully. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah. No, so the reason like high school is really hard for me is I actually my brother died when I was in high school. So we were both juniors in high school, and he was the football quarterback. He played varsity baseball. He was very popular. He was very well known, well loved, well liked in the community. So when he passed, there was just so much emotional flooding from the entire school, from the entire community, that was just kind of poured onto me and my family as we are trying to deal with our own actual, like, this is our brother and our son feeling of losing him, right? And so there's this sense of, in which understand is difficult for people to know how to be supportive. Really, what ended up happening was we had a lot of people flooding us with their own grief about this. And that didn't feel good, right? Because he's literally your friend, he's my brother. So this
Yeah.
is not the same experience. And I really don't care to hear about your experience right now. I don't really want to hear how you're sad and you're whatever. And you're at that time, I just don't want to be around you. I want to grieve. I want to be left alone. Um, and so I had like some very good friends at the time who I'm still friends with today. And Elena and Alyssa are them. And
Hi,
Elena's actually,
girls.
hey girls, they asked to, we'll have to have Elena on the podcast at some point. She really wants to come hang out with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, but those two were there. They knew my brother. They knew me. I had a support system of friends who were not flooding me with their emotional experience. Right? They were like, "How can we help you? What do you need? Come to my house. Like, let's take you to the movies. Let's go. Like, not talk about this." Right? They were the people who were like, "I know she doesn't want to
You
talk about
need
this."
normalcy too, still.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, like, they helped my life to feel more normal, whereas anytime, and it was awkward because anytime I would go to school, then you become the person who's like, "Oh, that's the girl,
Her
that's Isaac's
brother died.
little
Don't say
brother, dog,
anything to her.
whatever," and then they start being awkward, and it's like, there's this sense of you lose your sense of self because now you just become this caricature,
Yeah.
this projection of whatever they think that you are, and so that persisted pretty much. We lived in a small town, and there's still people today. If I go home, it's like, how's your family? I'm like, it's been 20 some years.
Didn't you just
Like,
tell me there was like a high school reunion and they were trying to like
yes,
put his jersey
yes,
up? Like it's still
it's
like
a whole
they
thing.
think
Yeah,
they're honoring him
it's not.
by
Yeah,
putting the focus on him instead of, the
correct.
surviving members of the family.
Yes, correct. So the thing was, like, with the whole high school reunion, they're like, "Oh, we want to get his jersey," and like he has this huge shadow box that has his baseball jersey, his football jersey, his basketball jersey, and it's got like it's huge. This thing is huge. Okay, it was displayed in the school for a little while, um, and 20 some years go by. We have our 20-year high school reunion. Okay, these people reach out to me and say, "Hey, is there any way we can get this?" Jersey. And I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be available. Like, keep in mind that, like, my parents are still anytime this stuff kinda comes up, it's very triggering for them too. It brings
Yeah.
up so much of that nervous system response, and it's so disrespectful for people to just assume that this is going to be a good experience, right, for my family to kind of play this out again. So, I tell this person, I don't know if it's gonna be available, like, probably not. I don't know if there is one available. Um, so this person then, instead of being respectful, right, and saying, "Isaac's sister is saying it's not available, I'm going to respect that because this is actually my 20-year reunion. It would have been my brother's, but he's obviously deceased, so it's no longer his. I'm gonna be respectful of that and leave it alone." No, this person and another person I went to high school with went and Facebook messaged my parents and then asked them for the so there's this, like, entitlement, right? There's almost this entitlement to be a part of my family's grief, an entitlement to have access to things related to my brother. It was very, very disrespectful. I definitely blocked these people. I don't talk to them. They're very, good luck to them in their life. But, I never gone to a high school reunion. So my friend Elena, she's like, "Hey, you gotta come. Like, there's some," she still talks to a lot of people that we went to high school with. And she's like, "No, like there's some really cool people who've, they've grown up, they're great." And I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm super happy for them. I'm not flying to California to go to a 20-year high school reunion to hang out with people that I don't know and I don't care to know. like like there's nothing more triggering to me than not only being in the hometown where my brother died, driving on the road where his car accident happened, being around people who refuse to move on with their lives and you know be able to just talk about the positive things. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I want to avoid running into anybody from high school at any cost. So Alyssa and Elena are really lucky that I still talk to them.
They are lucky.
Right? I
Listen, when
can't wait.
I when I
I can't
met
wait for
you,
them to listen to this episode
yeah,
too.
when I met you, it was always like, "Oh, my best friend's Alyssa and Elena." And I was like,
Yeah.
"They're so lucky." April's the coolest person. She's always bitching about something or talking shit about. You were like the opposite of Crystal in high school. No,
Right. I
no,
was.
just kidding.
Because
No.
technically, I'm probably the bully in the relationship with Alyssa and Elena. I'm their bully is probably
Okay, and so we're all on a group chat now, like me,
yeah.
you, Alyssa, and Elena, right? And it's usually
Right.
just like either podcast talk or I'm actually, listeners, I have been invited to join their girl trip.
She
Finally, I've
has.
been a friend with
Yeah.
April for 15 years and I finally have made it
She
into
got an
the girl
invite.
trip.
Listen, can I pause you on that real fast though?
Were
The
you
girls.
protecting me from them?
No, well,
Oh,
yes, because they are bullies. Actually, they are bullies. But this actually does kind of tie in really well with bringing
game
your
night?
friends
Yeah.
together.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Pairing your
because
friends.
what you don't want to happen is like you bring in a friend, you care deeply about all of these people. The last thing you want to do is like bring them together and then have it be disaster, right? So part of it for sure early on was like, oh, I can't risk any of these three like not getting along. um and then uh me and Elena and Alyssa had a little bit of a I'm gonna try to say this very,
I'm not gonna
very
cry.
carefully.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
it's
ready.
nothing to
No,
do with
oh,
you.
okay.
It's nothing to do
Oh,
with you.
just in case they're listening. I hear what you're saying. Okay, we're
Okay.
good.
It doesn't. Yeah, it does have to do with you. Um. Okay. So
What do you
we
mean
we
it doesn't have anything to do with me? I thought we
we
were
had
best
a girls
friends.
trip. We had a girls trip one year. And so I guess I should tell the listener. Me, Alyssa, and Elena, we try to go on a girls trip every couple years. Get together. We have lived in different states, and we went through a really traumatic thing together. Alyssa and Elena are some of the only people in my life who knew my brother, and they knew the relationship that I had with him, and we went through that season together. So something like that just really bonds you. There are people who will be in my life forever. And so we try to do a girls trip every couple years. We're not always able to do it. Sometimes it's 4 years before we do it. We try to do it at least every 2. But we went on a girls trip and we invited another person one time.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah. Um and I don't doubt that it's really difficult to it's probably easy to feel maybe sometimes like the fourth wheel, right? Because Alyssa, me, and Elena have so much history. And so there definitely are like we could be talking about people from high school, for example, right? And like the other person is like, I have no idea who that is. But we haven't seen each other maybe in 3 or 4 years, and we're like, hey, you still talk to this person. What are they, And so there's definitely probably some feelings of being left out. Not intentional at all, but when you have 3 people who've known each other since grade school, there's going to probably be that feeling. But there was a lot of personality differences, with what we wanted to do, how long we wanted to stay there, how much we wanted to party, what was the vibe going in. I will say that, and you're going to be surprised about this, bestie, but me, Elena, and Alyssa are all pretty agreeable when we are going on any type of vacation together. Like for us, it's really I'm here to go with the flow. We're here to have a good time. I'm here to just hang out with you. I'm not going to be very particular about how we do that, when we do that, how long we do that. Our last trip, we went to Montana. For so much of it, we drank wine, we built puzzles, we sat in front of a river, we went hiking. One of the trips we did a little more partying. We went to Austin, we did 6th Street, we drank, we partied, we had fun. But the person we were with didn't necessarily want to engage in the trip the way that we wanted to. So I think after that we did have a discussion where we were like, that maybe
No
didn't
one,
go
no one
well,
is
and
allowed on this trip but
maybe
us.
we should consider if we want to invite. We don't want anybody to feel like they're the fourth wheel.
Did you guys
Like,
like take a vote? No, now I'm curious. Did you guys take a vote? Like, okay, everyone who's in favor of inviting Misty, or did you just say like, I'm inviting her next time, and you guys have to
yeah,
accept it because I'm the
yeah.
bully of you guys?
No, I want to say I sent them a group text because we were talking about planning a trip to Salem to do the
Oh
witches,
yeah.
the witch thing. And I think I sent them a text and said, like, hey, what do you think about inviting Misty this time? I think I want to invite Misty this time on the girls' trip. And both of them just responded, like, I think that's great. I think that would be a great idea. I think that I think it'd be fun. So I don't think that there was no like vote or anything like that. But I definitely kind of floated the idea, like, hey, I'm thinking about inviting Misty, kind of like giving them space to say, I'm not ready to take this on again. You know? I don't know if I can handle another, because it takes so much effort for us to plan these trips, right? Like,
Well,
there's so many, we each have obligations, work,
yeah.
family. We have to organize, like, it takes us years sometimes to plan putting these together.
None of you
So,
guys are Capricorns.
no, I don't actually I don't know what they are. I should look up what they are. I'm not
Do
gonna
you
say their
know their birthdays at least?
Yes, I know
Okay.
their birthdays. I
Well,
could look them up.
Capricorn is like, are any of them December or January?
No,
Then they're not Capricorns. That's an
no,
easy rule
no,
out there.
no. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Watch one of them be December or January.
They're like, it's the same birthday as Misty's. How did you forget?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but now I want to hear, and maybe if you're comfortable sharing, you can say no. I don't want to tell these bitches anything. No, but my question is, Do you have any concerns about going on a trip with them? Like, because you would be the, like the
I will
fourth
be the
person
fourth
coming in.
wheel.
Have you thought, well, you wouldn't be a fourth
Yeah,
wheel.
you just literally said there's only 3 wheels on that trip. It's a trike, and I'm gonna be like that monkey backpack for you. Just like whatever you're doing, I'm doing it.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. No, I think it's totally different. I
No,
mean,
I think for me, like, okay, and so that's kind of how this whole conversation started, was now that I've been added to this chat,
yeah,
I think I literally said, like, I don't know if we could be friends if you talk to me the way that you talk to
the
Alyssa
way
and
I
Elena. Like, it's
the way I
clear there's a
bully
for
them.
sure a different friendship
Yeah,
dynamic.
yeah,
But it's interesting. So I think you and I both have in common, like, we're both interested in the other characters in your life, right? Like, I want to know all
yeah,
of your friends. I want to see, because it helps me understand you a little bit better too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Especially people
Absolutely.
from your past, because I literally have a list, I think, of questions of like, okay, how did April become such a bitch? Was she a bitch when you met her, or did you guys train her to be one?
Did you?
Like, I want all of that information.
My bitchy side for sure comes from Alyssa. I'm
Alyssa,
gonna.
yeah, I feel like that's the vibe I get in the chat. So so for the listener, I have met Alyssa in person
Mhm.
one time, and it was like so long ago I didn't even remember meeting her, because I met her on a Zoom call or something. I think it was a FaceTime or
Yeah,
whatever. I was like, oh my gosh, hi, nice to meet you. She's like, you
yeah.
literally met me once. And I was like, obviously didn't have a deep emotional effect on
Do
me,
you
because I
remember?
don't
Yeah,
remember. It's like she
yeah,
didn't say anything mean to me, or like, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It
She's
was a
super
neutral
nice.
it was a
Yeah,
neutral
that's
encounter. And so
actually Alyssa's one of those people who's literally like the nicest like her like she's just so nice. Sometimes I'm like, why did you become friends with me? Like
I
I
that's my
clearly
question
am
too.
not
That's
a
actually
nice
question number
person.
3.
No, it's
Why
true.
why did you
Like,
become friends with
yeah. Why did you?
Elena made her? She's like, no, this girl
I'm
needs someone nice to
You
be.
know what? Now that we're breaking this down, I wonder if I was just like a charity case in high school. Like they
A
were just kind
hundred
of like,
percent.
that girl's brother is dead
Mm-hmm.
and we need to help her.
Probably.
I mean, luckily we were friends before he died, but I don't know.
You know
It's
what? Okay. Not to look, we're gonna talk business for a minute.
okay, okay,
Okay, we're for sure having Elena on this podcast. Okay, we've already
okay.
decided that.
All
I
right.
think it will be really fun for both
Mm-hmm.
of us to bring one of
Yeah.
our other friends on
Yeah.
that can shed some insight on like day to day or history. Like,
Yeah.
I only have one friend that's known me like since I was like 9 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that I still
Hmm.
talk to.
Yeah.
Maybe I can trick her into coming on.
Yeah. You should ask her for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So
Maybe you
we
can.
also have like a lot
Right.
of fun childhood memories, right? Of
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
she went to church with me. I don't know if she was there when my junior what is that called? Junior high? Junior high
Mhm. Yeah.
bully came at me, my middle
Yeah.
school bully. I don't think
Right.
she was there for that, but um she has known me for a long time, mostly through church and then through high
Uh-huh.
school. So I think that might be. She has the same birthday as you. She
Oh
texts
my
me
god.
every year on my
How
birthday
funny. Uh-huh.
forever, like forever. She just has like that memory, right? And finally,
Yeah.
like 17 years later, I was like, I would also like to know when your birthday is so that I can be a good friend. And she told it to me, and I was like, that's the same birthday as my bestie. Like, how did I never
Now you'll
know?
never forget.
It's so funny. I was like, now I am the worst person ever. Like,
That is
okay.
hilarious. Okay, so back to
Yeah.
any kind of concern. So you were
Yes.
in this
Okay.
group chat. You kind of get to see the dynamic a little
Mm-hmm.
bit on the chat.
My concerns are all very selfish. Like, I obviously want them to like me.
Yeah.
because they're important to you. It's almost like when you're
Right.
dating someone and you bring them to meet your family, like if you care about
Yeah.
what your family
Right.
says, right?
Right.
You're like, I
Right.
want my family to like you because you're important to me. And they are your family, essentially.
Yeah.
Like I've met your family, your actual family though, and I know they love me. So I
Of
have no
course.
concerns
Yeah.
there. So,
We
um,
also have a group chat with my sister. She
yeah,
messages us every week and gives us updates about her podcast reviews and all of it's super fun. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I think I just really, like, I want to get to know them better because that's going to help me understand you a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they just sound like super cool people. Every time I see anything that's going on with them, I'm like, wow, like I want to know more about bees. Why are we
Yeah.
going to Turkey? Like I want all the
Right.
information. And
Yeah.
then like Elena just looks like a super sweet person, and so
Mhm.
yeah, just from what I know about them, which is mostly
Yeah.
what you tell me, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I guess what
Which
I'm
is
saying is
all the worst things. Oh, listen, Elena. Okay. I want to be clear about the kind of thing
nothing, yeah, nothing
nothing
nice,
nothing positive.
nothing. So it's always just like I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to like get to know them. So I think a lot of
Yeah.
it is less nervousness and more
Yeah.
excitement. Um,
Yeah.
and I
Good.
just really hope that they don't hate me
They're
because for
here's
your
the thing.
sake,
If they hate you, it's because they hate everybody. It's it's not
like
it's the thing that connects us is our hate
I hear you.
for all the things. Yeah, yeah. But that would be really fun though to bring somebody from your youth on and then bring Elena on and kind of get some more insight into the people who help shape us,
Yeah.
help make us be the people that we are today.
If I can't get that childhood friend, I do have a work friend that I might be able to trick into coming
Convince.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, a
So it's
former
kind of fun.
coworker.
Yeah, we've actually never told anybody how we met on this podcast.
No. Should we save that? I think this might be a good uh
Good segue.
what is that called when you like drop a egg for the next
East.
podcast?
No, I don't know what that's called. I don't think
There's
it's Easter egg.
something where it's like, okay, it'll be the trailer for the next episode.
There we
How
go.
we met.
How did we meet? I
Yeah.
know. Okay, you guys put some guesses. Put some guesses in our comments. How you think we met? I'm
So how
curious.
we met is one part of the story, but how we actually became friends.
Hmm.
Did we already talk about this?
I don't think we did. I don't think we have. I don't think we have given any information about how we became friends or how we met
I feel like
or
we might
any.
have. Okay, listen, you're not allowed to go back and listen to any of the other episodes though. You have to just make your guess now based off of this episode. How do you think we
Yeah.
met and how do you think our friendship like you meet people and then you're like there's something that happens and you're like, "Okay, I think
Hmm.
this is somebody I can definitely spend more time with."
Yeah. One of the things that since we're kind of on topic of friendship, one of the things that I think about a lot, and it's actually a question I ask people when I'm doing assessments to kind of gauge their emotional intelligence understanding, social interaction understanding is how do you know when somebody is a friend? Like, I feel like that's very difficult in adulthood. When I think about my friendships, you and I have been friends for almost 15 years. I've been friends with Alyssa and Alena for 20 some years. My relationships are all like decades long. And I have made a really good friend here in Texas. And, you know, I've been in Texas for 7 or 8
Too
years now.
long.
Yeah, like, and she's literally like the only. I just met her in the last couple years, and then of course it takes time to create like a friendship of trust. And so
I think a
it
lot of that, though, is just that you're a recluse. Like, you moved to Texas, you were a stay-home mom, going to school,
yeah,
homeschooling your children. Like, you didn't go anywhere. Like, when did you
yeah.
ever have a chance to meet somebody, right?
Well, no, I started working at the college, became a college professor like
When?
a year after I moved to Texas. So I started working full time the year after we moved here, and then I did that, worked
But
full
was that
time.
online, or were you actually going there?
No, I was working on campus. Yeah, I had
How
like
do
an
I not
office on
know this
campus.
about you? I feel like
I
this your
mean, I
timeline
don't
is
know.
off. I'm gonna ask John.
You could ask him, but yeah, I only lived here a year, and then I got a full time job working on campus.
Listen,
Um,
here's what I remember. Do you remember when
mhm,
you were doing your dissertation, when you came to my house to have a mental breakdown? And
I
you were
do.
like, I don't have any friends and I can't make friends with
Yeah,
anybody. And I was like,
yeah,
you gotta try.
yeah.
You gotta
How?
talk to people.
There was no time. I was working. I was
See,
writing. I was
here's what I hear.
reading.
Excuse. That's called you were neglecting your self care.
100%. Because that's what it means to get a dissertation.
That's
Don't do it.
no,
Don't do
do
it,
it.
you guys. Okay? I'm pretty sure I developed several mental health conditions in that process.
I
The
think you just
hating
exposed all of your mental health conditions. They
also
were there.
probably the
Just came to the
okay.
surface.
If you ever think getting a doctorate is a good idea, okay? It's not. It's it's terrible.
I listen. I have a guy I used to work with that just recently reconnected. I think it's because of this podcast.
Yeah.
He has now got his PhD, and I think he told me he's going for another one.
Oh, oh my God.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, "All right, you do you." Some people
Yeah.
love school, though. Like that's their
Mm.
thing. That's what brings
Here's
them
the
joy.
thing. I like learning. I love
School could be
school,
self care for people.
but a a doctorate degree, no. Mm-mm. I'll get a bunch of master's degrees.
Ugh,
That
I'm trying to
that
get
sounds
one
fun.
bachelor's degree right now,
Rich.
and I want to give up.
You want to give up? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem for me is that it's just like, why do they make it take so long? Like,
Yeah.
it's so freaking expensive. We're not going to get
Mhm.
into my thoughts on that, but
Yeah.
it's expensive. And they just are like, we have to draw this out. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter. You have to do it in the longest amount of time possible that we tell you.
Yeah, because they want money.
It's literally like
Yeah.
the 40-hour work week. If you have 0 tasks for me to complete, why do I have
Mhm.
to be there? Like,
Yeah.
so that's my problem. I don't
I
like feeling like I'm wasting my time.
Mhm.
I'm really
And
bad at it.
so much of academia is just wasting your time,
It is.
honest.
I hate it.
I mean, the dissertation, so much of it, it's so much of it is just regurgitating, saying the same thing for 150 pages. How can I say it again differently? Say it again differently. Say it again differently. It feels maddening for sure. But to go back to our original
Yes, you
points,
made a friend finally.
yes, I was around a lot of people. I just didn't have time to invest in those people because I literally was working like 2 jobs. So I was full-time faculty at the college with a full course load, teaching several dual credit courses. So I'd be driving around Fort Worth, teaching at different high schools, introduction to psychology and developmental psychology. And then I also had to do my practicum hours. So I'd work during the day, and then I would have to drive to Burleson, which is like 45 minutes away, work with patients all day long while I'm doing a full-time job. Also, so I basically was working 2 jobs at the same time and then trying to write. And that was the point where I was like, I need to get out of here. And that's when I flew to Arizona. And I
Listen,
was
I
like,
think I just realized what it was. Remember when you ditched me and you moved to Texas?
mhm,
Okay, that was also the time when I was getting divorced. Like I was already
mhm. You were going through a lot.
having a lot happening, and then you moved, and then my other really close friend moved. And so I was like, well, I'll never see her again. This friendship's
Mhm.
over. Like we'll text every
Yeah.
once in a while. And I think the first 4 or 5 years you were in Texas,
Mhm.
we didn't communicate as frequently as we do
No,
now. Like
we
I
definitely
think
didn't.
you were too busy, so I probably just didn't know because I was also going
Yeah.
through my own shit. So that was
Yeah,
probably
we were
just a lousy, me being a lousy friend and focusing on
you were going through it. I
not
was
unaliving myself. No.
Yeah. You were going through a lot. I was going through a lot. Because I think that you did come, because I didn't know that you were going through a divorce when we moved, right?
Yeah, I hadn't discussed that with anyone just because you and John were
you're besties.
well, you guys were friends with my ex-husband as well.
Mhm. Yep.
And John was really one of his only like
Mhm.
friends.
Yeah.
Like okay, he had like friends from high school, but like friend that would probably give him good advice.
Right.
We had
Friend.
some other friends that we used to like go camping with. One of the coworkers that I'm referring to is one of those
Mhm.
people at the camping group that we were in.
Yeah.
But they knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I did not tell you guys because again, that sense of normalcy. Because
Mhm.
everyone is looking at us now with like, you know,
Not knowing how to react. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
because it was an affair on his part, like
Mhm.
there was just a lot of judgment for him. So I wanted him to have one of the friendships still intact that didn't have all that information so that he could just feel normal and not
Yeah.
feel like he has to, he's being judged or whatever. So
Mhm.
we didn't tell you guys because I didn't want that for him.
Yeah.
And then after
Yeah.
you left, like we were still trying to work on things. So I think I found out about the affair in March. You guys moved in like June or July.
Mhm. I think July. We moved
Yeah.
July. Yeah.
And then I asked him to please don't live here with me anymore in
Mhm.
October or September.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, when I finally told you, because I was like,
Yeah.
now that this is going to be over, I need to talk to my friend. And
You
I
got it.
remember telling you about it. And then
Mhm.
like, I don't know, we might have still been on the phone.
Mhm.
My doorbell rang and it was a molten chocolate lava cake from Domino's that you had delivered to me, or like
Yeah, I remember
I was
that.
like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is exactly what I needed.
I mean, that's exactly what you need when you're
Yeah,
going through a divorce. You just need some chocolate cake and a friend.
exactly. Yeah.
You
And then
know?
I came out and visited in January, and then it was probably another
Mm.
4 years before we saw each other, like just
Yeah.
because life,
Well, I was in school. Yeah, I was trying to do that. I mean, it is isolating. I will say, like, becoming a doctor is isolating. It was one of the most isolating experiences that I went through. And it was hard. Like, it was hard because I felt a lot of guilt because I didn't have time with my kids. John was basically doing everything, which, like, there's so many cultural like expectations as a wife and a mom that you should be doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm like going through this. Are my kids gonna be like, my mom was never around, my mom never took care of us? John's basically like kind of a single dad at this point, just getting kids, carting kids to school and doing like the whole thing. And I'm just trying to meet all these requirements to become a doctor. I had to do work X number of hours, and I have to know X number of things, and and then I'm teaching psychology courses as well. And at that point, I was just like, I had the same issue. I was like, I am burnt out. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I gotta get out of here. And that's
I
when
think
I
it
came to.
was like you
Mhm.
were having a mental breakdown.
I was there. It had already
It
happened.
happened. I was like,
I,
this poor girl. I remember,
I
was it
it was
that trip or the next trip that you were like tears
Mhm.
and tear for like 4 or 5 days? I
Literally,
remember
like,
every time I
5
talked
days
to you, you were just crying.
crying.
And I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm so
Yeah.
sad for you.
It was like a week straight. John was literally like, "I don't know what to do. She's crying, like, every
He
day,"
was
you
like,
know?
we can move back to Sierra Vista.
"We'll move to Arizona if we
We'll
have to.
move.
If that's we need to be happy." Like, "I just need to finish this dissertation. That's what I need."
But that trip was when I introduced you to mountain biking. And I think
It
that
was. Mhm,
that
and that
was
was a lot of
really good.
fun. It was yeah, it
It
was
got you
great.
outside.
Yeah, getting outside, back in nature, just being with friends, taking a pause from real life,
Self-care.
but it self-care, yeah, like, and I actually just posted. I've been trying to post on TikTok more. I just posted something about the fact that when it comes to mental health, I think a lot of people go through their lives and the thought is, when is this suffering going to go away? If I get to that body I want, if I get to this relationship I want, if I get this job that I want, if I get this whatever that I want, that suddenly I'm going to feel better. And suddenly the pain's going to go away, or the loneliness is going to go away, or whatever it is, that they're feeling. But the reality is that it doesn't go away. The suffering doesn't go away. Um, the baseline of existence is suffering. So the only way that we can bear that suffering is with each other. It's literally calling up your friend and being like, can I come stay with you for a week? Because I can't handle this right now, right? Or it's like, hey, I've been keeping this to myself and it's too hard to carry. Can you sit with me? Can you share the load with me? Like, we literally can't be successful alone. I don't care how people try to piece it. I don't care how tough you think you are, how stoic you think you are. You cannot do it alone. You're not going to be happy, that's for sure. Like, it's going to wreck your body and your mind and your soul if you try to do it alone,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think tapping into those friendships is so important to our sense of safety and comfort and ability to just live without feeling like we're getting swallowed by all the responsibilities that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think that's a great wrap up, actually. We started with friendship games and now we're ending with friendship requirements.
I love it. I mean, I
Perfect.
still don't know.
Well done.
Last thing though. Okay, how about this? We can end with this. We'll see what you can give us. Like, how do you know when somebody's going to make a good friend? Like in adulthood, when you're meeting people.
Yeah. Wait, are you asking me for real?
No,
Oh,
I'm
thank
asking
God. We're
you.
throwing that to the listener?
We can throw it to the listener. Tell us. How do
Tell
you
us.
know
How do you know?
when somebody is going to be a good friend?
All
Yeah,
right.
and then we can
Can't
talk
wait.
about it. We'll
Email
see what they say.
us. Put it
Yeah.
in the comments.
How do
However
you
you want
know?
to. Deliver to us. How do you know? All
Also,
right.
tell us your fun stories about high school or friendships or silly things. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah. We
All
love
right.
the whole point of this podcast is to connect with our community. So send us something, guys. We'd love to discuss any issues that you're having, anonymously, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Share your funny stories, see how they relate, anything you've got. So email us, put it in the comments. We have a form. I think there's a link on our Instagram where you can submit an anonymous form for something we can talk about too. So,
Yep.
all right.
All right.
I think
We'll see you
that's
next
good.
week.
All
Yep.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Love
Love you.
you.